Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Build of the Week is a weekly video series that showcases interesting character builds created by Path of Exile community members. This week's episode demonstrates a witch that uses Ice Spear to permanently freeze monsters, including high-level map bosses. The build accomplishes this using Ice Spear's high critical strike chance, the Elemental Proliferation support gem, and a series of useful curses. This build demonstrates that sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Permanently frozen monsters rarely get a chance to even hit back. This seems to be working quite well because the build's creator, K19, has managed to reach level 93 in the Beyond League with it. The Chaos Inoculation and Ghost Reaver keystones are both combined with high energy shield and cold damage leech to help against elemental reflection and quickly replenish any damage taken. Forsaken Masters added several new features designed to support self-casting characters, which this build takes advantage of. For example, the reworked Shadow starting area and the new Divine Mana Flasks, which this build uses two of. Herald Device is also used for increased cold damage and to damage nearby monsters whenever one is shattered, a frequent occurrence with this character. This build uses mostly rare items, with an emphasis on increased energy shield and elemental resistances. The Diana's Invitation belt is used to provide increased cold damage, elemental life leech, and additional chance to freeze enemies when flasks are used. It gets to take advantage of this freeze chance frequently due to the Surgeon's modifier on all of its flasks, which refills them rapidly due to its high crit rate. This also allows it to use its mana flasks to sustain its high cast speed and mana costs. The Malagaru's Virtuosity gloves are used to increase critical strike chance and damage. Ice Spear is supported by Elemental Proliferation, increased critical damage, Spell Echo, greater multiple projectiles, and faster casting. When dealing with powerful bosses, greater multiple projectiles can be swapped out with Cold Penetration for increased single target damage. An array of curses are also used to enhance the build's freezing capabilities. Assassin's Mark is used on weaker enemies to gain power charges, increasing the already high crit rate. Frostbite then makes those critical hits more effective, inflicting more cold damage and increasing freeze chance and duration. Once frozen, monsters can be cursed with temporal chains to stop them from unfreezing too soon. While the build's boots provide a high amount of movement speed, it supplements this with Lightning Warp to get around the map quickly and efficiently. Positioning is important with this build to ensure that as many monsters as possible are being frozen at once. On the passive skill tree, a lot of energy shield nodes have been allocated for survivability. Because the Discipline Aura is used, increased aura effect nodes also result in more energy shield. For damage, this build focuses on getting as many of the increased critical strike chance and multiplier nodes as possible, then supplementing them with increased spell and cold damage. Breath of Rime is one of the two notable passive skills chosen that provides an increased chance to freeze, which is useful as a fallback in the unlikely event that it fails to crit. The build author is currently working towards the Fingers of Frost node, which will increase this chance to freeze even further, as well as chilling enemies when they unfreeze. The Alchemist notable passive gives increased flask effect and duration, which is important for maintaining the build's mana pool. This build is a powerful contributor in party situations, as well as when it's played solo. It greatly benefits from having allies around who can provide additional curses such as elemental weakness. The build author says that it was initially put together on a budget, with most of the gear costing him 10 or fewer Chaos Orbs, not including master crafting costs. The most difficult to acquire part of the build is the appropriate version of Diana's Invitation, which only drops from Atzeri, who incidentally can't be frozen. If you'd like to submit a build for next week's episode, just post a build guide in the class forums on pathofexile.com. Thanks for watching and see you next time.